Hello, I'm Dustin Doudelet.
And I'm Evan Gomes, and you're watching 110% Sports.
Nutty netminders. Family ties. They can do what?
We've learned from two sources today that Ryan Barbeau is out as head coach of the men's basketball team at Loyalist. The team had 7 wins and 13 losses this season. One source said Barbeau decided to step down. Barbeau was a standout player at Nicholson Catholic College in Belleville, and he was All-Canadian at Western University. He's been coaching at Loyalist since 2013. We tried to reach Ryan Barbeau and his assistant coach and father, Jim Barbeau. Neither was available for comment. Round 1 is in the books in the Ontario Junior Hockey League playoffs. Ben Soke scored 4 goals, including the overtime winner to lead the Wellington Dukes over the Aurora Tigers. Liam Newman had 2 goals and 3 assists in a losing effort for the Tigers. The number 1 ranked Trenton Golden Hawks made quick work of the Newmarket Hurricanes. Trenton goalie Daniel Urbani had 2 shutouts in the 4-game series. The Golden Hawks outscored the Hurricanes 17-4 in the series.
Trenton wasn't the only local team to sweep their first round series. The Kings disposed of the Cobourg Cougars in 4 straight games. James Paddlegrant has the game recap.
The Voyageurs celebrated their sweep on the road in Cobourg. They won Game 4 in overtime 4-3 to send the Cougars packing. Kingston forward Ian Harris scored the game and series winner when he grabbed a rebound and beat Cobourg goalie Tyler Lewis. A dejected Lewis stopped 29 of 33 shots, but Kingston netminder David Richer was simply better. The Quebec native turned aside 39 of 42 shots to earn his first playoff sweep.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's the first time it happened in my life. It's the best team I ever had in my life, so it's just awesome.
Cobourg defenseman Sam Dunn was sad his team's season is, well, done.
Yeah, obviously, like in any game when they come back and then you go to overtime, obviously a loss in overtime, you feel like you're right there, and then it just kind of slips away from you. And obviously that's how we felt. We're all in the room and, just having a game slip away like that and the series being over, it's pretty hard on all the guys to know we were that close.
For 110% Sports, I'm James Paddlegrant.
There's a myth in hockey that goalies are a bit different than other players. So does this uniqueness apply to netminders in the Ontario Junior Hockey League? We sent James Paddlegrant to find out.
Zach Springer is the 17-year-old backup goalie for his hometown Kingston Voyageurs. He first strapped on goalie gear when he was 8 years old. Springer says goalies are unique. Maybe it takes one to know one, but he says he can always spot the goalie on a team, even out of uniform.
Goalies are extremely weird. Like, we are, when the people say that we're our own breed, that is almost an understatement. Like, every goalie is like weird, but we're all weird in our own ways. But it's just the fact that we're not normal makes us, you can always point out when the whole team's together, like that guy's the goalie. Just something's a little off with him. You can always tell.
David Richer is Kingston's starting netminder. The 20-year-old from Mirabel, Quebec, backstopped the Voyageurs to a 4-game sweep over the Cobourg Cougars in round 1 of the playoffs. He has a routine before each game.
I consider myself a little bit weird because I'm a little bit superstitious, so like every game I have to do the same things and like put my sticks at the same place every time. So yeah, I'm kind of weird.
Daniel Urbani finished the OJHL regular season as the league's top goalie. He had 34 wins and 5 shutouts for the number 1 ranked Trenton Golden Hawks. The 20-year-old from Coquitlam, British Columbia, says goalies can generally be put into 2 categories.
Everyone's unique in their own way, I think. You go to a different team, goalies are all a bit different. Some guys are quiet, some guys are more loud, some guys are, they're all different.
On some teams, the goalies have completely different personalities. 6-time Stanley Cup winner Ken Dryden wrote about that in his book, The Game. He said their coach Scotty Bowman wouldn't tell them who was tending net until moments before the game. That's because Michelle Larocque would start to throw up, Dryden would start to panic. Stefano Durante and Tyler Lewis shared goaltending duties for the Cobourg Cougars all season. Lewis describes himself as an introvert. He says Durante goes into his zone when he gets in the net.
Steph does a little dance before the game. He gets his hands going. He gets his mind into the game. I've never seen anything like that before I came here. It's probably the weirdest thing I've seen so far.
And what does Durante do to get game ready?
Take a walk outside, same path, warm up outside no matter what the weather is. It could be 40 centimeters of snow out there. I'll be out there warming up.
Goalies get the credit when the team wins, but they often bear the blame when there's a loss. So why would anyone choose to be a goalie?
Oh, I just love the thrill of it. Like, there's something about getting hit in the head that's so fun.
For 110% Sports, I'm James Paddlegrant in Kingston.
You may have noticed some flashy hairdos in James's story on the junior goalies. NHL players grow beards at playoff time. It seems some OJHL players can't, so some of them are getting crazy cuts and bleaching their hair.
Still with the OJHL, John McDonald is the Director of Hockey Operations for the Trenton Golden Hawks. He's also the OJHL Executive of the Year. The 73-year-old McDonald has been with the team for 6 seasons. He was the OJHL Volunteer of the Year last year. We asked him why he thinks he's won this latest honor. Here's what he had to say.
I'd like to say my good looks and charm, but I know that's not true. It's the success of the boys in that room. I think that's why it was given to me. And you know what? I just can't say, as I've said all year, I can't say enough about these kids and the staff. And it's a team award. And I think that's why we got it. It's because it is a team award.
Time for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with a story on how the Loyalist Sports Dome is helping golfers keep in the swing of things during the winter months.
Welcome back. The Nicholson Crusaders are back from the Ontario High School Single A Boys Basketball Championship, and they brought home some hardware. The third seed Crusaders won 4 games to make it to the finals. They lost the gold medal game to O'Gorman High School from Timmins. Nicholson last won a boys title in '07.
Another Bay team represented the region at a high school provincial championship, this time in girls volleyball. The Bayside Devils lost all 4 of their round-robin games at the OFSA Doudelet Championship in Kenora. Their head coach is Amy Hoskin. She's also the head coach of the Loyalist women's team. The Devils lost 1 round-robin game to Garth Webb Secondary School of Oakville. The Oakville school won the title.
Loyalist is lucky enough to be one of the few colleges in Ontario with a sports dome. Indoor facility is a boon for anyone who wants to play tennis, soccer, hockey. As my co-host Evan Gomes found out, it's also an indoor haven for golfers.
Steve Auger grew up in Trenton playing hockey and baseball. At 18, he wanted to try an individual sport. His start in golf did not come easily.
So when I tried it, it was extremely difficult, and that I tend to like a challenge, so it was difficult. I was absolutely brutal to start. That intrigued me, and then I started working at it, practicing more, got decently, I'd say pretty decent pretty quickly, and then I was told I should pursue it a bit more serious, so I did.
Auger spent winters in Florida to hone his game. He worked part-time at his parents' shop and golfed 5 days a week. Auger tried his hand on small golf tours in Florida, but realized he wasn't good enough. He then turned his passion to teaching the game instead of playing it.
And after my first lesson that I gave, I absolutely loved it, got massive gratification out of it, and it's been a labor of love for 18 years.
Ken Murray is a writer and casual golfer from Prince Edward County. He's had several lessons with Auger. Murray says it's Auger's demeanor as a teacher that keeps him coming back.
What I learned most was how patient he is, because I kept doing the same thing, the same mistakes over and over again. And he's willing to re-explain the same things in a million different ways until he finds a way that works for me, which takes a while. I'm a slow learner on sports. Yeah.
Murray is not the only one benefiting from Auger's instruction. Auger teaches up to 7 lessons a day to amateurs and professionals during his peak season. Auger can run classes all year since the Sports Dome opened at Loyalist in 2009.
I wouldn't be as busy here as I would be in season, so it does give me an opportunity to recharge my batteries a little bit because it is absolutely hectic and it's go, go, go from April to back into November. But I've gotten used to it. I didn't know what it was going to be like initially with having, 8 months of employment, but the Dome opened and that gave me 12 months, which is ideal.
The Dome gives Auger and his pupils a reprieve from the tough Canadian winters. Auger believes it's harder to make it as a golf pro in Canada, and those who do should be very proud.
They should be commended, and they most likely, I don't want to say it because there's hard workers everywhere, but any Canadian that makes it in a season, in a climate that we're up against, they've got to be commended and patted on the back for sure.
Does Auger have any regrets about not playing in the PGA?
And if I knew now as far as what I know about the golf swing when I was 18, 19 years old, I probably could have become a better player. But you need to have the financial backing, and who doesn't know more now when they're 41 than they do when they're 22? And I'm still learning. So in retrospect, looking back, I wouldn't do anything differently. I'm a big believer in fate, so I'm absolutely blessed to teach the game for a living. So I wouldn't really trade anything I've ever done absolutely not.
Even though Steve Auger never made it to the pros, he still manages to teach the game he loves to those both young and old. For 110% Sports, I'm Evan Gomes in Belleville. Some able-bodied athletes and students got a chance to play sports in a whole new way at the college. It's an event hosted every year by students in the Recreation and Leisure program. Rachel Yanni dropped in to bring us this story.
Playing sports with a twist. Students in the Rec and Leisure program have hosted the annual day-long event for several years. It gives able-bodied participants a chance to try out wheelchair basketball, adaptive badminton using your non-dominant hand, and a version of volleyball where you have to sit down. Third-year Rec and Leisure students Adam Strickland, Alyssa Horning, and Allie Guthrie helped organize the event. They agree it's an eye-opening experience. Horning said it's a big challenge when you can't use your legs to maneuver.
The hardest thing is overcompensating for different body parts. So wheelchair basketball, we're not using any of our legs, so we're going to have to use more of our arms. So we're going to have to dribble and shoot and aim and steer. Yeah, without any of our leg movements. So it's also adjusting to the speed because we're not using all of our limbs. We have to adjust that we can't move as fast as we'd like to.
Catherine Kerr helps out at Wheelchair Basketball Belleville, a program of the YMCA. Kerr helped promote the event. She says more and more people with a disability in the area are getting involved in sport.
There's been a great turnout. We've had athletes like Phil Kerr. He's a local athlete in the area. He has a clothing line called Twisted Mountie. He's been coming out, brings a bunch of his buddies, and we've had lots of people from Trenton, from the Belleville area coming to play. Some of the participants were Loyalist varsity athletes. That included volleyball player Adam Strickland and basketball player Jenny Thompson. They say being in a wheelchair gives them a whole new perspective on playing sports.
Strickland is a top player on Loyalist's volleyball team, so basketball is not his sport. And trying it in a wheelchair?
It's really difficult. It's actually quite frustrating at times because when you're going to shoot the ball, you're not worried about which direction you're going, but then you need to know which direction you're going because then you got to shoot the ball. It's really, to overcome that, it's just a lot to think about. It would take a lot of time to master this, I would imagine.
Jenny Thompson is Loyalist's all-time leading scorer in women's basketball, but playing it in a wheelchair requires a skill set even she doesn't have.
It's hard to be able to hold the ball and use the wheelchair and be moving at the same time as shooting basketball. So I thought it'd be a lot easier than it actually was.
Many who tried out said the day gave them a whole new perspective on athletes with disabilities, especially those who got knocked down but got right back up again. For 110% Sports, I'm Rachel Yanni.
Time for another commercial break. After the timeout, we'll take a look at some of the hidden talents of Loyalist varsity athletes. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Jenny Thompson is ending her Loyalist varsity career on a high note. She's now the top scorer in women's basketball history at Loyalist. And another family member is on that list. My co-host Dustin has our story.
Jenny Thompson grew up in Belleville and played at Nicholson Catholic College. She joined the Lancers in 2011. The team made it to the provincial playoffs once during her time on the team. That was in her rookie season, but they were eliminated early on. Thompson finished this season 4th on the OCAA scoring list, and she was named an East Division First Team All-Star. She has tallied 673 points for the Lancers in 4 seasons. Retired player Diane Bowder is in second spot with 625 points. Bowder played for 5 seasons.
I think it's pretty good. I enjoy that title, but now I'm going to hope I keep hanging on to it until someone beats me out. It's only a matter of time.
Joanne Garvin played for the Loyalist Lancers from 1980 to 1982. She sits 8th on the team's all-time scoring list with 409 points. She happens to be Thompson's mother. Garvin played basketball at Carleton University before coming to Loyalist for 2 seasons. She was surprised to hear she was a top-scoring Loyalist player.
I'm very impressed by that. I didn't realize until somebody mentioned it to Jenny that I was up at that level. So yeah, it made me feel good.
Without a 3-point line too. So.
Yeah, 2 points all the way.
There's a 40-year difference in their playing careers. Thompson is about 5'10", 8 inches taller than her mom. And that's not all that separates the two on the court.
My style of play is different than Jenny's since I am a little bit shorter. So mine was more an attack at the front, to press hard, steal the ball from the opposing guard, and go in for a layup. So, and it was also very quick. So ours was there was no time to set up because our team was shorter as well. So it was more like, okay, get the ball and get down the court. So we relied on a lot of fast breaks, our whole team.
Thompson led the Lady Lancers this season with 198 points in 13 games. That's an average of 15 points per game. She missed 2 games with a fractured collarbone. Thompson wasn't always a knockdown shooter. A high school growth spurt changed her style of game and her position.
I grew up with being a point guard, but I shot up 2 feet or so in height, so I advanced to kind of a shooting guard, I guess. Just always running, just a run and gun kind of player, I think, for fast breaks.
Garvin coached at Loyalist in the 1980s. She was also a basketball referee. She says women's basketball is much different now than it was during her time.
Well, the teams were not as skilled because, again, these girls started when they were in grade 6 or grade 5 or maybe even younger than that. Whereas when I also coached here, and one of the players that I had on my team couldn't even do a layup. So the skill level was not as good, I would say. Now, but it was a little freer. Now I find it more structured, but the skill level is better because most kids have played at a lot younger age. So.
The uniforms.
The uniforms.
Oh, I'm glad that changed.
Yes. Well, yes. Jenny's glad that she didn't have to wear short shorts.
Garvin tries to attend all of her daughter's games. When she's watching, she sees the game from the perspective of a player, a coach, and an official. Naturally, she's proud of her daughter.
Well, I'm really proud of that. I can't think of a better person to get it than if it's my own daughter, because I really enjoy watching her play, and I think she's an unselfish player. I think very happy about it. Couldn't have happened to a better person.
Thompson has 1 year of eligibility left. She says her time as a Lady Lancer is done, but she's not hanging it up just yet.
I'm about ready for retirement. I can only handle so much contact, but I mean, I'll definitely play in leagues anywhere I can. So I'll have that to fall back on.
For 110% Sports, I'm Duston Doudelet in Belleville. Loyalist is handing out its annual athletic awards on Wednesday. The college will choose one male and one female athlete of the year. 6 other major awards will be given out, and an academic excellence award will honor the team with the best overall grade point average.
Speaking of collegiate awards, a former Loyalist volleyball player is the Canadian College Men's Player of the Year. Fleming College volleyball player Jacob White was given the award in British Columbia at the National Championship. White played for the Loyalist Lancers in the 2013 season. He also plays beach volleyball for Canada's national C team. He's from Brockville. With the college varsity season over, team coaches are already looking ahead to next season. My co-host Duston Doudelet reports on a rookie basketball player who's expected to step it up next fall.
The Lancers will be in tough next season. At least 6 graduating players say they're not returning next year. That includes Loyalist all-time leading female scorer Jenny Thompson and 2015 OCAA East Division Rookie of the Year Letitia Lopez. She has been the team's leading rebounder. This was Jamie McCourt's second season as head coach. He served 6 years as an assistant. The elementary school teacher also coaches high school basketball. McCourt knows he's losing a solid core of players, but he's looking at first-year Corey Brown from Toronto to step up next season.
With her coming back, I can see that leadership role increasing. She's continued to get stronger as she's felt more comfortable here at the school, and that's been huge for us. Her feeling comfortable outside the basketball court is also allowing her to feel more comfortable on the basketball court and with the players that she's playing with. Now, we do have a solid nucleus that's coming back, and Corey is part of that. And I think that there'll be some really big stuff next year with her, too.
McCourt welcomes the chance to rebuild the team, and he thinks the 19-year-old Brown has the qualities to be Loyalist's next leader.
No, I think it'll be a little bit different, right? I think she has that capability to be a team leader at a bit more of another level. Like this year, it's kind of her play that's setting her apart, and I think having been here for the year, she'll have an understanding of what the basketball program, but also the academic or the school side is, and so being able to mentor new girls coming in next year, she'll have those experiences that she can bring forward.
Brown once scored 36 points in a high school game at Jarvis Collegiate in Toronto. She played 1 semester at George Brown. Academic ineligibility meant she played just 8 of Loyalist's 14 games this season. She's looking forward to helping build the team in the fall.
I just hope we can grow stronger as a team. Like with everyone that's staying, like we can build off of each other and still like help the newcomers come in. Because of course you want to win next year. You want to be the same strong team that we are. So, yeah.
She finished 4th in team scoring with an average of 8 points per game, and the 5'7" guard led the team in field goal percentage. She knows she has some big shoes to fill, but she's not afraid of the challenge.
I think I can bring like aggressiveness and a really like captain-like show for the team. So yeah, I think I can do that. Like be like the captain, like the bigger person. Because I kind of just took a step back this year because it's like my first year. So there's like all those 6 players are all up there. So yeah, I think next year I can like stand out.
Brown plans to spend the summer playing with the Toronto Lords of the Ontario Basketball Association to keep her skills sharp for the upcoming season. For QNet Sports, I'm Duston Doudelet in Belleville. It's pretty obvious students who play a varsity sport have strong athletic talent, but my co-host set out to discover some of their hidden talents. Here's what Evan found out.
Sarah Pianayafu had one of the best seasons ever for an OCAA women's volleyball player. She broke the OCAA record for kills and points in a single season. She was the OCAA overall Rookie of the Year. But Pianayafu is one of many Loyalist athletes with talents off the court.
Allô tout le monde, comment vous allez? Je voudrais vous dire merci de m'avoir, merci d'avoir été là pour moi pendant toute cette saison. Merci de m'avoir encouragée. C'est une très belle ville, Belleville.
Loyalist forward Carter Maskey also has another language he can speak. Sort of.
Well, when I was little, I could speak Italian. I can still kind of speak it now, but it's not the best anymore. Say grazie, which is please or thank you. Say arrivederci, ci vediamo domani.
Does Carter ever use the language of love when talking to women?
No, God no. I think it would just be worse than me trying to talk English to them.
Loyalist women's volleyball captain Amy Parker can speak a language as well, the language of the Canadian wilderness.
I can do a duck noise. Do it?
Second-year forward Olivia Thompson has a talent that has been sweeping the nation.
Yeah, I invented the dab.
With all their time commitments between being a full-time student as well as a student athlete, how do these athletes learn these hidden talents? They don't go learn it from somebody, they learn it from a computer screen.
My hidden talent would be I can figure out a Rubik's Cube.
Aiden Wells was surfing the web one day when he came across the interesting trick.
I saw a video on YouTube of someone doing it, so I decided to learn how to do it. It's definitely an icebreaker, yeah, for sure. I bring it to family events and they don't think I can do it, and I do it and surprise them.
Wells thinks he could make a side business out of all the people who don't believe he can complete the puzzle.
Yeah, I definitely should start making money off people who don't think I can do it.
Loyalist forward Rebecca Bartlett learned her hidden talent off YouTube as well. Now she does it to relax.
My secret talent is knitting and crocheting. I actually taught myself this summer how to crochet by watching YouTube videos. I feel if you search hard enough, there's a little bit of everything on there. Right now I'm knitting boot cuffs, so that you wear under the boot, and they're pretty fancy. And other than that, I'd say I've knit a hat on circular needles, so that was pretty nifty. And this is actually my first crochet project ever.
Not all the Lancers feel like they have hidden talents. That includes Loyalist point guard Hakeem Curling.
I'll hit a three if you want to see me hit a three. I don't have any hidden talents. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Loyalists. I'm sorry. I don't sing. I don't do nothing. I play ball. I don't dance. I play ball. I like to show up late for class. I'm sorry, Loyalists. Sorry.
Evan Gomes, 110% Sports, Belleville.
That's our show for today. I'm Dustin Doudelet.
And I'm Evan Gomes. Our show is produced by students in the Television New Media Production Program and the Sports Journalism Program. Bye for now.